Watching French movies is a great way to practice your French. And if you are an intermediate learner, there is a specific genre that is good for you. Comedies. Because in comedies, you're going to find a skill that you need to acquire, which is joking. Joking around with French words, joking around with French sentences is going to be something that you want to do at the intermediate stage. So stay tuned, because for you today, I have 6 great, funny French movies for you. First on the list is the movie Intouchable from 2011. And it's one of the most popular French movies of all time, really, and for good reasons, because this is a beautiful story of friendship. Now I'm going to read you the synopsis. Philippe is a rich tetraplegic man, and he needs to hire someone to help him. Driss candidates, but he only candidates for a signature to prove he is really looking for a job. In reality, he is far from the ideal candidate, yet he might just be who Philippe really needs. And it's a funny French movie, but at the same time, it's not like overly funny. It's not that there is jokes all the time. So this is a good place for you to start if you want to get into French movies, if you want to get into French comedies without overwhelming your senses with too much joking. Second on the list is Le Dîner de Cons, and it's a movie from 1998. Now, a lot of French people can quote some of the parts of this movie by heart, so you definitely need to watch it if you want to interact and laugh with French people. Now, here's the synopsis. Every Wednesday, Pierre and his friends organize un dîner de cons. It's a sort of competition where you need to find the dumbest person and bring him to dinner. Pierre is certain to win this week because he found the perfect candidate. Except this one might be just a little bit too dumb. Another movie French native can quote from is Les Visiteurs, and it's a movie from 1993. It's a great classic. It's rather goofy and kind of weird sometimes, but definitely hilarious, at least for French people. You need to understand French humor for this one. Here's the synopsis. In 1123, Godefroy de Montmirail, a fierce and loyal vassal of the King of France, accidentally kills his betrothed father. In an attempt to go back in time to fix his mistake, something goes wrong and he is propelled into the year 1992. So it's about knights that actually arrive in modern-ish times. A much more recent movie is the movie from 2016, Il a déjà tes yeux. Now, I gotta tell you, French comedies like to be and talk about sensitive topics and conventions, generally making fun at them. And this movie is definitely a good example of what modern French comedies can be about. This is the story. Paul and Sally are the happiest people on earth. They are finally going to adopt a little boy. His name is Benjamin. Their families are preparing his arrival, but they couldn't be more shocked when they see Benjamin for the first time, because he is a wonderfully cute white baby. How is the world going to react to a black couple adopting a white baby? Going back into the classics of French comedies, we have a movie from 1971, and it is La Folie des Grandeurs. La Folie des Grandeurs is one of those movies that with age becomes better and better, well, in my opinion anyway. And it's a movie that stars Louis de Funès and Yves Montand, which are 2 giants of French culture, really, and of French cinema. So they come together in this comedy, La Folie des Grandeurs. Now, as a child, this was one of my favorite funny French movies, really. I could watch it again and again. Here is the story. Don Salustre is a Spanish noble, but he is not quite so noble. He's an hypocrite, he's mean, he's stingy, and really he shouldn't be the Minister of Finances, but he is. And it looks like he is going to need to play a very dangerous game if he wants to stay in the good favors of the king. Another very quotable movie is Astérix et Obélix Mission Cléopâtre, and it's a movie from 2002. It's a movie about Asterix. If you don't know who Asterix is, you should Google him because he's very famous in France and it's very famous for all kinds of French people actually. He's a comic character. And this story is about the time where he goes to Egypt to help Cleopatra win a bet against Caesar. And it's definitely hilarious. Although, be careful, this one has a lot of play on words, so it might not be the one to start with. But if you can get to a level where you can understand everything that is happening in Asterix et Obelix, perfect. Now, where can you find all those movies? Now, some of them are going to be on Netflix or other streaming platforms, but most of them you will actually find and be able to rent on Amazon and on the Apple library. So really don't hesitate to rent those movies. It only costs you a few dollars and it can be a great practice for your French and you can have a lot of fun watching them as well. If you want to dive further into French cinema, you can start with a list that I've compiled of some of my favorite French movies. You can download it in the description below. And if you are not sure how to watch French movies to be able to practice French, if it's a little bit too hard for you, you can watch this video.